welcome back to Bunters Yard and part 2 of this class 66. I mean, if you watched the last video, you would have seen me do the exhaust and the roof. Thanks for all the lovely comments. I really appreciated that. It spurred me on to actually finish this one off for you and get this up today. So the first thing we're going to do is just make the front a bit dirty. I'm using the rust to wash. I'm just going to thin it down a little bit. It's just really to get a bit of grime on the front, and because it's a wash, it will sort of flow into the recesses and just create some sort of dirt shadow kind of effect a little bit. We're not going to go too far on using this one at the front. There's other things to follow. If you didn't see the first part, the link is at the end of the video, and hopefully in the description if I remember to do it. And you would have seen it flash up on the screen just a moment ago as well, so check that one out if you've not already seen it. But anyway, we're just going to put this on with a brush, and then we're going to sort of knock it backward, drag it down with another brush. This is just a dry brush, just to create some sort of streaking mess on the front there. It's a bit of a funny angle for me, and I'm sort of doing this with my arms crossed, so it's a little bit awkward, but anyway, that's my excuse. First thing to do is we're going to put a light coat along the bogies and along the frame. And this is Vallejo air dirt, so it's just kind of just to grime it up just a little bit. There's a few other colours to go on. There's quite a lot of sort of recesses on that frame, on the rails there, so just be careful and try and get everything in, and just take care if you're doing this to not get too much on the wheels, because you will need to clean them off, otherwise your class 66 won't run particularly well, if at all. But so I'm trying to take this from all different angles just to try and get as much as I can covered in this this dirt. I'm going to do the same on the front as well, just very lightly, really mainly towards the bottom. That's what I'm aiming to do. So we can use some other colours to sort of blend it in a little bit. And I like to keep the buffers clean as well, so just knock them back with my thumb as well, so not been particularly fussy with that. And then we've done this before, we've dry brushed this is still from Vallejo air, and we're just going to dry brush really lightly so it catches some of that detail, because there's some nice detail on this loco, on those bogies especially. And this isn't to give the effect of bare steel. It's really just to leave a highlight. I've mentioned this before, so just so we can see the detail really. The other colours that will cover it will darken that down and make it look less like bare metal, I hope. Then we're back to using our smoke colour, which we used on the roof, just to really tie the sides into the top, concentrating around the vent areas. Now I'm not sure if they will all vent smoke. I'm not sort of very technical that way. I don't know much about the trains, to be fair, but yeah, kind of to me that makes sense, where you know they are a vent or a grill, so there will be something emitting from there. So I'm assuming it's going to be dirty air, whatever it is. So we're just going to just catch around the end of that, and then a few little runs of this smoke colour. The good thing about the smoke is it's translucent, so it doesn't give you a full coverage. So if you go a little bit too heavy, it's not going to make it completely, you know, a brown or black or whatever colour you choose to use. You can still see through the, you can still see the livery underneath where it says the Schenker there, and yeah. So I quite like it. One of my new favourite colours, I think. So just going to add in some runs where I think they might be, kind of working from the you know, the edge of that exhaust and some of those vents on the roof. So where there's already a patch of soot and smoke or residue up there, we're just going to carry that down the sides. And then we're just doing a fine line just along the top of the side of the body, just to take the edge off of that red. It's quite bright, so we don't want it quite as bright as that. And then we're just adding a little bit in You just see it touched around the bogies just a moment ago. Just along the top as well, just to tie the roof into the sides, because it was masked off originally when we did a lot of the work on there. So just making sure it all blends in together. So next up in the airbrush, we've got the darker shade of brown. This is just to add a different tone from the bottom, so just to make it a little differentiate a little bit. And then we're going to add in black as well, just to make it a little bit darker. So we've got 3 or 4 different tones going on down the bottom. We're really just working around those axle boxes, or I'm not sure if there are axle boxes on there, but where the axles are anyway. And the real lower surfaces, just to make it look a bit more grimy. And the sides, maybe it looks a little bit wet or something. And then on the front as well, we're just going to really, just a real extreme bottom of that. Is it a spoiler? I'm not sure what it's called. I'm sure it's got a proper name, but anyway, that thing on the bottom of the buffer beam. And so we're starting with the powders now, and we're using a couple of the rust tones. We're not trying to make it look necessarily rusty in that little vent, but it will get a little bit of corrosion, I guess, where some of the paint will sort of chip away, and extremes of heat and so on. It will affect that, I suppose. But I've often seen vents on the diesels with sort of the rust kind of growing in little areas. So just a little bit of that. When we've lacquered this in a little bit, it's going to take the that effect back a little bit, so it won't be quite as pronounced as it looks at the moment. So we're using the dark rust just around those ends of the axles, the bearings, I guess they are, and it's just to you can just see it catches around that detail. It looks lovely, I think, anyway. And then just the last part, this is Humbrol Dark Earth, so rather than any of the rust tones, just to add a bit of dirt into that into the frame. There's lots of recesses in there, it's so easy to miss a piece with the airbrush. So just dotting a bits in here and there, just to add a little bit of dirt and grime into those areas as well. So we need to seal everything now with our varnish. This just holds all the paint layers and the powders in place, so it's a bit more durable when you come to use it and sort of hold it as you're moving it around the track and so on. So it just makes it a bit more, a bit more durable, really. I'm not being too fussy about the windows. I didn't want to mask these off. I'm just going to wipe them back to look as if they've, someone's maybe had to go over a brush, and just give them a real basic clean. Same on the front. We've lacquered that already, and we're just going to wipe the windows back. I could have made those windscreen wiper arcs, but chose not to on this one. So once that's finally dry, the last part we need to do is this shafts and bearing grease, which is an enamel paint. This will dry with a little wet, shiny sort of look, and it just gives the effect of grease and oil that's kind of leaked out, or people have been a bit careless with. So just along the bottom of these bearings seems to be a good place, I guess. And then maybe on some of these, maybe they're hydraulics, I don't know, but it just adds a bit of wetness, a bit of interest to that. Now, you don't need to brush this in too well, just dot it into place, and capillary action will sort of make it sort of blend in and soak and stuff like that. So you can use a dry brush if you want to, and just sort of drag little streaks and do different layers. But generally speaking, just dot it on, and you can see it will sort of seep around and make quite an effective result, really. So wherever you think there's going to be runs on your loco, especially on the front, where we're going to use the on the ends of the buffers, and maybe on the top as well. Again, not suggesting they are leaking, but they just want to get a bit moist, I guess. And that's about it. We're done. I hope you enjoyed part 2. It's a little bit brief, but we got there in the end. Thanks to everybody for watching part 2. If you've not watched part 1, then go and do that in a second. Thanks to everybody who's subscribed. Lovely comments. And it's Friday here in sunny Southend, so I'll bid you farewell and have a good weekend. Bye for now.